Hello my creative friends. Today we're going to be making the fourth card in my card kit giveaway for World Card Making Day. This is the last official kit, but don't worry, the fun will continue next week. I created 11 cards, I believe, for the design team at Stamp Nation, and I'm going to be showing you all of those cards. Most of the cards I made are going to go to Operation Right Home, and I made them specifically with that in mind. But there were a couple of cards I made for some people, special people in my life for birthdays, and they had glitter on them and they couldn't go to Operation Right Home. But I'll be sharing those with you next week. And tomorrow I have a bonus video with a way to take one of the kits and turn it into 2 other cards. So be sure to tune in tomorrow for that. And on Friday I'll be giving away 2 sets of card kits. One for the giveaway link that I'll be posting below, either on YouTube. You can check the description box, or you can just read the rest of the post if you're on my blog. There's also a giveaway on the Stamp Nation Design Team blog hop. So I actually have 2 sets of 4 kits I'm giving away, and you can check out my blog for all of those details. Alright, on to the card. I'm going to start by giving you the measurements because you might not win the card and you might want to make this. So get your pen and pencil ready. We're going to have a piece of basic black cardstock that measures 3 1/4 inches by 4 1/2 inches. A piece of smoky slate cardstock that measures 3 3/8 inches by 4 5/8 inches. A piece of basic black cardstock, another piece, 3 1/2 inches by 4 3/4 inches. A piece of whisper white cardstock, 4 1/8 inch by 5 3/8 inch. And then the standard A2 size card, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 once you've folded it in half. I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up. So this is my whisper white. It's 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches, and I'm going to be sponging again. As you can see, I've done quite a bit of sponging this week, and I like to prime. I think I probably made that up, but prime my sponge by just tapping it into the ink, and I tap it off and swirl a little bit on my paper underneath, and then start swirling it onto the page. I'm really hoping to get a nice blended look with this pool party color. As you can see in the sample, you wouldn't really need to do the inside, the middle part of this cardstock, but I'm going to use it to create this label. So I am going to go ahead and swirl some color into the center of my cardstock. Next, I'm going to take the sentiment Miss You from Lacy and Lovely, and I'm going to stamp it using my black Stays-On ink. It doesn't really matter where you stamp as long as you don't stamp along the edges, because nobody's ever going to see this. My next step will be to take this magnetic platform and a clear plate and my sentiment and this label from the Circle Card Thinlits. I have used most of the things in this package, but not the actual circle card itself. I love this squirrely little label. You put it cut side down, and if you get it in person, you'll be able to feel there's these ridges. They're not sharp, but they do cut all the way through. So you just place it wherever you want, and the magnetic platform holds that in place. Take another clear plate, put it on top, and run it through your Big Shot. I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. And what you end up with is this cute little tag, and this is going to be layered later. So I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to start working on my embossed piece. For the center panel, this is my 3 1/4 by 4 1/2 inch basic black cardstock. I'm going to run my embossing buddy over the entire thing. And then I'm going to take another stamp from the Lacy and Lovely set, this one right here, and I'm just going to stamp it all over my cardstock using Versamark. My next step is to take Smoky Slate embossing powder, and I'm just going to cover half of these images with this. And then I'm going to take the Pool Party and do the other half in Pool Party. And try not to touch it like I just did. I find it easiest to hold if I use a pair of tweezers and just grip it with the tweezers. I'm going to turn on my heat tool and heat up the embossing powder, watch it melt. Now that this is embossed, I'm going to set it aside. I'm going to bring the Miss You back in, and I'm going to use the same stamp, but this time with Pool Party ink. And I'm just going to add a little bit. It's really subtle and hard to see, but I'm just going to add a little bit to this tag of the same stamp. And you could even stamp off and stamp again. It just makes that label look not quite so flat. The next thing I'm going to do with this tag is to take my Crop-A-Dile and just punch a hole in either side. And if you're having trouble kind of lining up and deciding where you might want your hole, you can just take a little pencil as close to center, and then I'm using the smaller side of the hole punch and just punching that out. And now I've got a hole in either side. All of my pieces are here and ready to assemble. You can use your snail adhesive if you have a snail. I have this ATG gun and it works very quickly, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. Just apply adhesive to the back of all your pieces. This is my card base. I'm going to attach the Whisper White piece that I sponged with Pool Party ink and center it as best I can. Next, I'm going to take my biggest piece of black cardstock and layer my Smoky Slate on top of that. I'm doing my best just to center everything as I attach it. Now I should have done this step before I stuck this down. So do as I'm telling you, not as I showed you. What you want to do is to put your Whisper White satin ribbon through the holes on either side of your label. It's going to be a tight squeeze, so you want to be careful. You don't want to rip that paper. There's not a lot of room. Like I said, you want to do this before you stick it down to your paper, but I didn't, so I'm going to just peel up this bottom section here. I'm going to try to at least. I stuck a glue dot to the back of this. I'm just going to peel it up a little bit and stick it underneath because I forgot to do it ahead of time. Don't do as I do. I think the only downside to the ATG gun is that once it's stuck, boy is it stuck. I tried to peel it up and now I'm going to place this in the center, kind of the bottom center, and wrap my ribbon around. And then I'm going to add some more ATG tape to get it to hopefully stay. Here is my finished card. Like I said, put the ribbon on before you put the paper, stick your paper down to your card base. Here's my original one. Here's the one I just created. I hope that this was a fun technique for you and you learned a little something from it. On the inside of this one, this is the one going to Operation Right Home. On the inside, I put 2 liners so that the troops could write on it, and I took some extra scrap. This was from a trial because, you know, I'm designing this, and this one didn't work out so well, but when I punched it out, I thought it made a cute little butterfly. It didn't show up on here like I had planned, neither did the black, so I just put these in here. I took the extra pieces and strips and put them on there. And I embossed my name and the Operation Right Home logo on the back, because with the black, you really need to either emboss or you can use a gold or a silver metallic type pen. Those gel pens look really cool in here. So if you get one of these kits, you can decide, or if you make this yourself, you can decide whether to put a liner in for yours or write with a special pen. But our troops, sometimes all they have is pencils and or a regular pen, and they probably don't have the fun, cool, colorful pens that we have access to here at home. So this one had to have a liner. Don't forget to click the link to the giveaway in the post below to go ahead and enter to win. It's pretty easy to enter. I'll also have a direct link to this card on my blog so you can see some more pictures, and also have the supply list. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you find some time today to get a little bit creative. Bye.